The unemployment that's coming out of the stimulus latest bill, otherwise known as the skinny bill from the Senate, includes some positive differences from when they were proposing the HEALS Act. It's not as hefty of a unemployment benefit compared to the HEROES Act that was passed by the House, but here's some additional good news as it relates to the unemployment. JJ the CPA here. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a great day. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. I've got a number of updates that are coming. Also, I've got a new daily news update that I will release each night. Here's the great news on what's being proposed. So let me be clear, it is being proposed, but the reason I wanted to share this with you is so that you can act now on what is being made available. So in the HEALS Act, it was going to be $300 a week in unemployment, however, limited to 70% of whatever the employee's income was previously. Now, that was never passed, the HEALS Act. So now what is a reality is that this week, the skinny bill, as it's being called, in the Senate is now proposing still $300 a week, but no 70% caveat, meaning it would be as proposed what it was before, meaning if you qualified, you got $600 before. This would be, if you qualified, you would get $300. So if you qualify for $1 of it, you get all of it. Again, all proposed. The HEROES Act has it at $600, right? So the House passed the HEROES Act. The Senate's getting ready to supposedly pass the Skinny Act. So HEROES Act, or the Democrats, are at $600. The senators in the proposed skinny bill is at $300. The good news is that what's being proposed, there's no caveat. But here's the thing I wanted to make sure you're acting on now. And I put a link in the body of this email where it is a national link from the Department of Labor that will take you to whatever your state's unemployment office or website is. So if you have any questions on this, you really need to go to that link, and then you find your state, click on it, and it should take you to your state's unemployment website. That'll be the only place that you'll actually be able to, in my opinion, get real answers. Every state is different. But what is new is that this would be in addition to what President Trump has already put out there, which is $300 a week that's coming out of FEMA, so it's coming out of a different bucket, plus if the state is kicking in some money in addition to that. So there are a number of states that are already participating in this and providing those benefits. I'm not going to be able to keep up with the list because it's changing every day. That's why you would want to click on this link, go to your state. That'll be where you're going to get your answers. So in terms of acting now, you would want to make sure that you're getting the benefits, if available, from what President Trump extended in addition to the state benefits, because what's being reported is because it's coming from FEMA funds, that $300 from the President Trump executive order is going to run out in 5 weeks because there's only so much money in FEMA. So here's a recap. Right now you can get $300 if your state is participating, which they should be. It's just that your state's got to get their ducks in a row and start offering it. So that's why you want to go to your state website for your unemployment. That's available now. That most likely, it sounds, is being reported, will run out in 5 weeks. What's being proposed is now between $300 and $600. $600 is the HEROES Act, $300 is the Skinny Act. Good news being that it doesn't sound like it'll be also further contingent on what you were making before. Again, this is all in the federal PUA, the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Assistance. So nothing's passed, nothing's been put into law, if you will, at the federal level. I think that knowing that there's not going to be a caveat, I would be then surprised that in the what would become law on this would include any kind of caveat of a percentage based on what you were making before. Most states, that's the limitation. What were you making before? And it's going to be a percentage of that with some maximums. So that's all at the state level. So hopefully this is moving in a right direction, but I don't want you to have any false hope on the timing of this additional amount coming from whatever the final bill will be. It'll be some version of the skinny bill, the proposed HEALS Act, which never passed anything, the HEROES Act, which has only passed the House. We're going to have some combination here. What seems like the underlining common is the unemployment, the PPP, and the stimulus check, even though this skinny bill is, for whatever reason, not including this stimulus check. But I think it's just a play, as we might say. It's just a tactic. It's kind of dumb that they're doing it, this tactic on that. It's not funny. It's just that it's so dumb they're not including the stimulus checks in the skinny bill. It's just dumb. Anyways, it just seems like unemployment's an obvious. I want to make sure that you're qualifying for what you can get. So if you weren't aware that there's already benefits being paid, then get to your state. You might have to fill out some paperwork, make a call. Not to be blunt, but there's no reason to ask me any questions about the unemployment because I've told you what I know, and you have to check with your state. And the only reason I'm saying that way is that you shouldn't be wasting any time asking me a question and waiting to see if I'm going to answer it. You should be spending your time immediately going to the unemployment website in your state, reading up on it, either calling if they're participating, which they should be in the state or the president's executive order, then get after it. Call somebody, apply. There's no questions I'll be able to answer on this because I won't know the answer. I won't. It'll depend on your state. And then there's no answers that I can give you related to all these proposals. The HEROES Act is passed, but who knows? The skinny bill is going to most likely pass, but who knows? You got the president that's going to weigh in on this as well. So there's a lot of unknowns here. So anyways, I don't want to give you any false hope, but I want to make sure that you know, get after right now. If you're unemployed, get after it. Stop looking left, stop looking right, and go apply. Is there back? I don't know. You're going to have to check with your state. So don't waste any time asking me questions just because you need to go and get it. And then the benefit is if you're in the system again. So if your money ran out, get in the system again if your state is offering unemployment through this executive order. So that when and if, it seems very, very likely, very probable, but when and if the unemployment comes through one of these bills that turns into an act that turns into law, which I don't have a real gauge on the true timing because it seems like it should have been a month ago. The House is coming back in next week. The Senate's in this week. Seems like they're moving in a direction. Maybe by next week we'll know, but then it takes time for the states. So we might be really looking at October before unemployment benefits would be paid out if they pass something, but you need to be in the system. So take that with all due respect and all love for you to not waste time to get to the website. Got you the link. Get to it. If for some reason whatever link I gave you doesn't take you to your state unemployment office, because this is from the Federal Department of the Federal Labor Department. Google it. Get on your state website. Don't ask your friends. Okay. Don't ask on Facebook. Okay. Don't check out another YouTube video. You just need to go and apply. You need to figure out if your state's involved. It's going to be obvious on that state website. All right, hey, if you made it to here, you're most likely a subscriber, and I appreciate you. If you've made it to here and you're not a subscriber, hopefully this has helped. If you're on unemployment,
you know what it is, man. Hey, we about to crack the CPA code. JJ the CPA, what up?